Hi, sixth graders. The first video that we're going to talk about, or procedure, is being tardy or unprepared. It's our goal that you get to class on time with all the supplies that you need. In English, we've talked about you need a binder, you need your supply pouch, you need a pencil, and then of course, your planner. That's what we want you to come with prepared. When you walk in the door, you will see on the chart outside the door big icons showing you what supplies, if you need a Chromebook. But for the most part, you should have everything you need in your supply pouch. If for some reason you arrive in the room after the bell, it's going to cost you a ticket out. So you're going to be getting a sheet of tickets out. You get 6 tickets per quarter, and it's kind of like a freebie, a get out of jail free card. You turn in one of these tickets if you're late or if you're unprepared. So you'll fill it out, say whatever reason you're leaving the room, and then when you get back in the room, you put it in this box. This ticket acts as your pass in the hallway. The other reason you'd have to give a ticket is for some reason you came unprepared. You don't have a pencil, you don't have colored pencils. For some reason you don't have something that you need. So you would fill out a ticket, and in this case, you would turn it in to us, and then you can use the supplies on this cart. We have crayons, glue, tape, note cards, pencils, paper, whatever you need, you can use these from this cart. If you come without a pencil, you do not need to use a ticket out. So you will need to use a ticket out to borrow supplies. You will need to use a ticket out to leave the room. Pencils, you do not need to use a ticket. You can borrow this without a ticket. You simply write your name on this line, take the pencil. When you're done with it, erase your name and return it. We want to make sure you're here on time and you have every single supply you need. Sometimes in 6th grade, you will need to leave the room. Whether you need to go to the bathroom, you need to go to the office, media center, for whatever reason, you may need to leave this room. However, it is never okay to leave the room without permission. You cannot just get up and walk out the door without talking to one of the teachers in the room. You must ask permission to leave the room. When you come up and you say, hey, can I go to the media center? We are going to either ask for a ticket out. Some places that you're going to will not require a ticket out, but if it does, your teacher will tell you. We will say, you may go to the bathroom, but it's a ticket out. You cut it out. This is your pass. You need to have it out in the hallway. When you get back, you bring it over here, turn it into the ticket out box. Sometimes you will need a ticket out, and you will also need a lanyard pass. So if you say, can I go to the media center? We're not going to charge you a ticket out, but you will need to grab a lanyard from the hook. They do have the destination. Look, this one says library. You're going to put it on, so when you're walking out in the hallway and someone sees you, they know that you are headed to the library, you're from this room, this is your pass. When you return to the room, you take it off and you put it back on the hook. So in order to leave, it's either going to be a ticket out, you need to grab a lanyard pass, and then you need to make sure to return your lanyard when you get back. Sixth graders, sometimes you are going to be absent from school. Whether you're gone because of an illness, whether you go on vacation, whether you're on a field trip, you may miss school for 1 hour, a whole day, or several days. When you are absent from school, it is your responsibility to find out what you missed. Most likely, your teacher is not going to come up to you and be like, oh, you were gone for 3 days? Here's what you missed. No, you have to find out. Here's the best ways to find out. Number one, when you get back and if you've only been gone for a day, you can look at the planner board and you will be able to see what we did in class the day before, if we had any homework, or if there's anything you need to study. This information is also available if you check Schoology. If you go on Schoology, there's a link that takes you to our whole week, and you can see what you missed and even what's coming up. So check Schoology, check the planner board, and then ask if you had any papers. Was there anything that we handed out? Anything you need to turn in? Is there a test or a quiz you need to make up? You need to make sure you check the planner board and then ask to see what you missed. So sixth graders, in this room, we have a lot of books you can check out to read. Our library in here is arranged by genre, with the books over on this side of the room being mostly nonfiction kind of reference. Fiction starts here, and then all of this side of the room is going to be fiction. You can check out my books, and how we check out books in this room is we use the classroom iPad. When you come up to check out a book, there will be directions here that will kind of walk you through it. You'll search for your name, you'll search the book that you want, you'll check it out. It's all electronic, it's pretty cool. And then when you're done with the book, you come back to the iPad and return it on the iPad, and then you place it in the bin. Do not reshelve the book on your own. You'll put it in the bin, I'll put it back where it goes. When you check out a book for me, you get it for 2 weeks. I will let you know if you've had a book for too long. We don't charge any fines or anything, but you can have it for about 2 weeks. The number one thing to remember, none of these books can leave the room unless you have checked them out on the iPad. When you're done with it, you return it on the iPad, put it in the bin. Happy reading. So in sixth grade English, there's a couple of ways, 3 actually, that how we turn in work. So the first way that we turn in work is we will collect it right at your seat. I will come around and I will collect it. That's like the easiest way. Sometimes we will ask you for one volunteer to collect all of the papers, make sure they're all going the same way, make sure everybody has their name on it, and then you'll bring them back to the bins. We have a bin for each hour, and you'll just turn them in to the bin. Sometimes we will do work that's electronic on Google Drive, Schoology, and we will ask you to submit it electronically, and we're going to walk you through how to do all that fun stuff in Google pretty soon. So we do a lot of electronic turning in of work, and then for the most part, sometimes we might simply say, when you're done, put it in the bin. So again, 3 ways: at your desk, usually with a volunteer, electronically using Google Drive or Schoology, and then finally, bins. Now, if for some reason you turn something in and it doesn't have a name on it, I'm gonna drop it in this little folder right here that says no names, because I wish I could tell all of your handwriting apart, but I can't. So if it has a no name, I'm gonna put it in here, and you need to check the no name file if for some reason you think you turned something in, but in Infinite Campus it says missing. It's probably because you didn't put your name on it. So check no names. Also, if you need to turn something in and it's past the day where we turned it in class, everybody else already turned it in, I've already taken it out of the bins, your work is now late. So you need to put it in the late work folder. I will check this, grade it, and then get the grade into Infinite Campus. But this is the main area where we turn all of our English work in. Here in sixth grade English, we use technology quite a bit in the form of Chromebooks and iPads. We do a lot of our reading, our tests are on these devices, and we have a couple of rules when it comes to using these. The first one is you always use the device that matches your number. For example, if you sit in seat 13, Whenever we have a Chromebook cart or an iPad cart, you always have to use 13. So you'll come to the cart, find number 13, unplug it. This is your device. Double check on the back that it is actually 13. Don't just assume it is and walk away with it. If it's not 13, go, whoops, this isn't 13. Put it back in the correct slot, 13, and then find your correct number. You want to make sure you are using the one that matches the number on your desk. When you're done and it's time to turn them in, make sure if you have 13, you are putting it back in the correct slot. So I'm going to put it back into 13, and then I'm going to plug it in. Really easy. Some sixth graders tend to be kind of lazy because they're like, oh, I don't need to plug mine in, I'll just put it in there. It really takes 15 seconds. Put it in the right slot, plug it in. It's easy. And then also when it comes to personal devices, and what I mean by personal devices is your own personal cell phone. I don't mean iPads from the school, your personal cell phone. Those really are not allowed out in the classroom. So we're asking you, keep your cell phone in your pencil pouch, in your pocket, in your locker. The main rule is we just don't want to see it out in class unless we ask to. Like we may say, go ahead and get out your phone and look up this word. If we tell you to, you can. Otherwise, if we see it, we will take it. We will return it to you at the end of the hour, but we will take it. So we use technology here a lot, and we want to make sure you use it correctly and you're putting it back so the next person can use it too.